I don't know. All right. Good evening. We are live here Thursday night. Back in the day. Good to see everyone. Um, Hope everyone's week is going pretty well. A busy week, but a good week here. Mike and I were talking earlier. Weather is finally panning out. It's like beautiful. It's like fall weather here. It's like 70. No humidity. Oktoberfest weather. Little breeze. Nice day to be out.
Yes.
Yeah, but you guys.
Fall is here, but I fear there's one more nasty heat miser day coming up. Another couple more days are going to hit us.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is just teasing me right now, and it's ticking me off because I'm ready for the fall leaves. I'm ready for the whole fall shenanigans that happen. So I'm ready. Let's go.
Although I'm hoping our friends up north don't get pounded too hard.
Yes,
This storm looks like it might kind of head right up there. So hoping it doesn't hit them too hard. We'll see.
Yeah. So we're thinking of everybody up there for sure.
Yeah, they had some bad weather. David Bigelow posted it. His boat. He had to get his boat fixed and everything else, whatever was hitting him up there.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I saw Dukes County put out I guess they really don't know what's going to hit yet or how hard, but they put up their warning to make sure you have emergency, necessities, and if you have boats or like anything, trailers, anything to make sure that they get put away and secured and all that good stuff.
Hey, Nate, was that escape guy near you? That guy they finally caught?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So he was right outside of Philadelphia. So I'm in Harrisburg, which is like central Pennsylvania area. So probably like an hour and 20 minutes away. But where I'm from, like I have friends that have been, not allowed to go out of their house. I've got friends of mine's kids who are at Westchester University that, college sent kids home last week. I mean, it's been a pretty serious deal. They just caught him today, I guess.
Yeah. You got the escaped killer. Jane had cocaine bear in her backyard. The only claim to infamy around here is, you ever hear the urban legend of the couple that go to a motel and they complain the mattress is lumpy, and then after the third day they go in, they find the body between the mattress and the box spring. That actually happened here in Kansas City at a motel on Admiral Boulevard. Yeah. So
okay. And there we go. Okay.
Not as cool as Cocaine Bear, though.
No, it's not. Damn it. Okay. I mean, at least my Cocaine Bear had Ray Liotta in it. Damn.
That's right.
So all joking aside, you've seen the follow-up promo for Cocaine Bear, right?
No, is there another one?
No.
It's Cocaine Shark.
Yes.
I did. Yes, I did. Yes,
Yes.
I did see that.
That's what it is. It's Cocaine Shark. The premise that, drug smugglers, take the boats, speedboats into Florida. They drop shipments before they get busted, and apparently sharks eat it.
Why is it always my state?
I will say this for the record before that movie comes out. Brandon Carty, who is now doing his documentary on Thomas the Train Engine.
Train Engine, yeah, that's my kid.
He wrote a script about 10 years ago called with the shark in it that had that happen. A plane crashed. And there's drugs and all stuff in the water. So that is his intellectual property. Just like James Cameron stole the Terminator from me, because my senior year of high school, 1978, I made a movie in photography class about a robot that comes from the future to save the past. So, yeah. So,
well, I haven't seen
copywriting that for Brandon right now.
Get it. I haven't seen Cardi since we were on the island at Jaws Fest, and that was the last time I saw him.
Yeah,
and we kept in touch, but he's really striving.
Yeah, he's doing really, really good. I'm really proud of what he's done. I can't wait to see his Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yep, Thomas the Tank Engine. Yeah,
he's doing a documentary about the whole Thomas thing. So.
Yeah, the whole phenomenon of it.
Quick shout out to you guys at home, and no big deal. You don't have to. I pinned up about how to get on so your name gets recognized with StreamYard. Don't worry about that. But if you guys could, I know it's not a broken record, but it helps us out when we're trying to go through comments, see who they're coming from. Maybe at least put your name at the end of the comment, at the beginning of comment.
Yeah, that's Connor. Got to be Connor. He's in Ireland.
Yeah, he's in Ireland. Hey, Connor.
we're trying to dive in to see who it is on another device or something. It gets a little tough going back and forth. So, Nate, are you part of the Steelers Nation or Eagles Nation? So I'll be honest with you, I grew up in the Eagles Nation, which is why I got tired of it, because my entire family, Eagles all the way. And I went to college 45 minutes outside of Steelers Nation, and man, did I get sick of that quick. And Steelers are, people often talk about the Eagles being, rough group. Steelers, like,
no,
if you're a Steelers fan, like, you're a member of the team. At least that's how you talk about it. You don't say, "Oh, my Steelers." You say, "We."
That's right.
And this week we're going to do this, and it's not the Steelers; it's the Spillers.
That's right. Out there. That's right. My ex-father-in-law was from Pittsburgh, so
and it's Yin Steelers.
Kind of like the Eagles. They had a quarterback whose nickname was Jaws. Come on, yeah.
Yeah, Jaworski. That's right. Yeah.
God.
I was sitting in 1980 with my mean green Super Bowl machine T-shirt on, watching the Steelers take on the Oakland Raiders, and just got their asses handed to them the entire
Joe Green.
Man. That was when I gave up on the Eagles. So yeah.
Wow.
All right. So, at any rate, I guess we should probably get on topic.
That's rude.
About today? Top culture wrap up. The week it was.
That's a villainous thing that he just said. Boo, Steelers Nation. That's rude. How rude.
I believe that was Vic. I think Vic.
I have a feeling it's Victor.
It's Vic.
That's Vic, a Steelers guy. Come on, Vic.
You're a Toronto Argonauts fan. It's your 55-yard wide field and your 110-yard wide the other way. It's for metrics, I guess.
Damn Canadians. No, I'm kidding. We love you, Victor. We love you. So we're talking about villains. Are we talking about what type of villains are we talking about?
So let me pull this up here. And so what do we got here? To hell with Argos. Victor's not an Argos fan.
Mean, rude.
All right. So we're focusing on villains tonight. Honestly, I'm kind of sticking more to villains as far as movies go, because it can get out of hand really quick.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I thought we'd kind of go through more or less by genre rather than pulling villains out by, say, decades or whatever. I thought maybe it'd be a little bit easier way to categorize them. So I think that's kind of the direction we'll go in and see where it goes from there.
Well, I was going to keep on my nursing outfit and say this was the modern day Nurse Ratchet. But then I said, no, I better not, because, I'm in the public.
He's a villain, though.
Better not,
he is definitely a villain.
But anyway.
Unbelievable villain. So,
yeah, absolutely. So, Nate, why don't you start with what genre we want to talk about?
I thought we'd hit sci-fi right away. I don't know. That popped into my head first. So, I've got a couple here that, and some of these movies I found hard to classify. Like some, obviously, you know what they are, but then some you're kind of like, is it sci-fi? Is it this? Is it that? Yeah. So, taking a look at, some of the obvious ones. Darth Vader. I mean, come on. I mean, at least in my mind, definitely one of the.
At least for part of the story.
Exactly.
Yeah, for part of it. Yeah.
And then
I hated him more as a little kid, though. So.
Oh yeah, but when he dropped the bomb in Empire Strikes Back, everybody went, "What?
Exactly?
What did he do? What did he do?"
No. Mark Hamill tells a story that in the original script that everybody had, Obi-Wan killed your father. Yeah. And right before they filmed, Irvin Kershner, the director, took him aside and he says, George knows this, I know this, and now you're going to be the only other person that knows this. So if it gets out, we know it was you. Darth Vader is your father. And so he had to go in there, but he couldn't tell anybody. But he used the same emotion. He had that emotional, no, it's impossible. But he said it at the premiere. He's sitting next to Harrison Ford at the premiere, and that comes on. And he says, Harrison Ford leaned over to him and says, hey, kid, you didn't fucking tell me that.
He did. I heard that story. I heard that on Graham Norton's show. He told me that. I heard him say that. So that's very factual. Absolutely.
And he has the driest delivery too. I can see that, you know.
Oh God, he does a great Harrison Ford too. If you've ever
Yeah,
heard
he does.
him,
Yeah,
he's got Harrison to a T, and it's so eerie. You close your eyes and hear him. I'm seeing Miss Margaret Hamilton there in the corner.
Yes.
You want to talk about? I work. Okay, so I'm a nurse. You know that. I work in an office, and Halloween's coming up, and we're thinking. Yeah,
Sorry,
I
my
heard
good
that.
friend
I heard
Bam.
that. Everybody's like, oh, well, let's do the Wizard of Oz. And one of my coworkers said, no. Why? I don't like the Wizard of Oz. I'm scared of the witch, and I'm in my 40s.
Oh.
Now
it still ranks up there.
That's my point. It still impacts people. I mean, that's crazy. Even when I tell her, well, she had this makeup on, and there's a scene to where, I mean, she really did get burnt. I'm trying to, smooth it over. She's like, nope. That and the flying monkeys, forget it. I don't want it. So
yeah,
big impact.
Flying monkeys.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can remember being a little kid, and for whatever reason, they would play that film. I want to say it was like March, like maybe it was like right before
Easter.
Easter time every year. Is that what it was?
Yes, every year in
spring, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was some freaky stuff, and even like her soldiers. I mean, everything was just really kind of being a kid. Wow, that's pretty eerie. Yeah.
So we decided not to do that. On behalf of her. But we've all now we're going to think about being minions, but we don't know yet.
Oh, minions are fun.
That can be fun in so many ways. And I think, because there's so many different ones, you can really easily get creative with that.
I think they just said that because I'm the shortest one and I would probably match the actual description, but hey, whatever. So
just don't be the one with only one.
Never wear yellow to work. That's all. Never wear yellow.
No, doesn't look good. No.
Yeah. So, so we got Vader. We definitely have the witch. Bottom right, I'm kind of covering it up. I was trying to change up a little bit our layout here, but for me, and I don't know if they ever named what it was outside of being an alien, but the Thing. I mean, just scared the crap out of me in every rendition of the movie.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
That was straight nightmare fuel,
Go ahead, Mike.
That's another film that's got a great fan following, 40 years later. The Thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they tried to prequel in 2011. And it was okay. There was some merit to it, but you know what? Everything was CGI, not to jump on the hate bandwagon for CGI, but the standard effects that were in the original, like to this day, like when like when I forget what's his name turns and the head separates from the body and it's two different things instead of one, or he's trying to resuscitate the guy and he puts his hands down to to do the chest convulsions and chomps his arms up. I mean, oh my gosh!
When Richard Dicer's head crawls away like a crab.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or when they're sitting outside and they're going through and check and they're trying to figure out, who's it. And I don't even know the actor's name, redhead beard. And he just starts going, oh, that weird kind of, oh my gosh. I mean, and it wasn't a gory scene, but it just freaked you out,
It's intense. It was very intense and played on your psyche.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. So.
And the isolation of the film and the fact that the only way you could kill it was with fire for the most part. I mean, brilliant. Hey,
I'll take Kurt Russell with a flamethrower any day. Okay. I mean, that beard. No, whew, okay. But I can understand. I mean, that was at that time. That's when a special effects crafts was craft. You really worked your butt off to make that impression.
Yeah, that was Rob Bottin did the special effects, the Thing.
Yeah.
But back then it was him and Rick Baker and Tom Savini, and they influenced Craig Nicotero. My friend Corey from I've known him since he was 14. Yeah. He does movie makeup, and all because what he saw as a young man. So very inspiring. Yeah, I love the practical effects more than CGI.
I do too. I really do. Yeah.
And Go ahead,
I was
Janie.
gonna say maybe we're just being biased because we grew up with it, and then it became such an inspiration and interesting that we, so and so behind the scenes, this is how we did this, and this is how we did that. So we know how much work had went into something like that.
But I also think practical. I think they look more real, if that's the word.
Yeah.
I mean the Star Wars, the prequels with the CGI Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, God, it's you couldn't give Frank Oz $10 and a puppet.
No,
yeah, right.
I don't know. Frank's the best, man. He's always going to be Yoda and Piggy to me.
So. Well, I mean, it was such a profound complaint that they at least went back and tried to re-CGI it to make it look like the traditional Frank Oz Yoda.
Yeah.
After it was, so what is? I mean, that really speaks volumes. So yeah, and obviously we got Terminator.
Is that Rutger Hauer in the middle, on the bottom?
Yeah, I had to put him on there. I just thought he was incredible in that role.
Wow.
And Rutger Hauer did a lot of good villain type roles or anti-hero roles, but that was the first one for me. You know what I mean?
He's such a badass.
Yeah,
he really was.
Yeah.
Such a great actor. Golly.
He sold it well, and then right there towards the end, he's sitting there with the dove. You know what I mean? He wasn't going to hurt the dove or whatever. At least you think so, and then finally at the end, he just finally runs out of time.
Wow.
Man, he pulled it off well. Yeah. yeah. And then it's kind of hiding right now, but at the top, I just put a quick little shot of the electronic eye from 2001: Space Odyssey.
I was wondering, is it Good Morning, Dave?
Yes. I just thought that was probably one of the first times that they really tried to give something like AI, all this talk right now about AI doing all these things. Here it was, late 60s, early 70s, really took on a villainistic role and really detached itself from any form of emotion or, of feeling. And it worked really well.
Mm-hmm.
Really well.
It did, yeah.
So, yeah. What we got here?
Another good sci-fi villain was Khan in Star Trek: The Wrath of Khan. Oh, yeah. 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 Yep. Ricardo Montalban, is that correct? Yes.
Yes.
I believe so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Although the eeriest part of that film was when they captured the two guys and they took the centipedes and put them in the helmet.
Oh, I hated that part. No.
They in the ear. Oh man, I still
no. Being a nurse and you see things like that in the books and you're like, no, it's real. No, oh God, it freaked me out. Michael, listen, you're just so good. The sun shines on you 24/7, honey.
That's just God's heavenly glow coming down on you every week.
There we go. I was going to say, ironically, today's birthday, I'm back in the day, is Walter Koenig. Mr.
Oh, that's right. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Which is also funny because the episode Space Seed that Wrath of Khan is based on, Chekhov wasn't on the series yet. But
interesting.
That's way too much information. I'm sorry.
No, it's not.
No, you're just above my pay grade on it. That's all. You're not making yourself look bad. You're just making me look bad.
You made us look bad. Thanks a lot, brother.
Listen, hey, listen. I don't come on here because I profess to know anything. Trust me.
He should get technical advisor. That's all he is. He just puts us online. That's it.
Here. Yes,
I'm not that much of a special. Not as much as Mike, though.
No, he's definitely got it.
Yeah.
Wrath of Khan, best Star.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I would too. Yeah.
I would too. Like I said, I wasn't a big Star Trek fan of the show. I enjoyed the movies more, and some of the newer movies weren't too bad either. I thought some of the newest ones were done okay.
Yeah.
I could sit and watch them.
Faithful.
Yeah, exactly. Stuck to it, and tried to, rather than punch out and make money, I felt like they were truly trying to be sincere as far as, showing the next, whatever generation of it.
So speaking of the new films, look, J.J. Abrams is filling me. Look at all the solar flares. Look at all the lens flares. Yeah.
So we move on to get this one out of the way first because
my favorite is on there.
Yeah. Oh, really? So yeah, we're all so familiar with these guys. So I thought, you know what? Rather than save this one till last, because obviously this is one that people are expecting, I thought, why don't we take a look at some of these now? So which one's your favorite, Janie? Go ahead, take it.
Listen, Norman Bates is the one for me because I am so much into the old horror genre. I really don't watch horror movies that much. Number one, I wasn't allowed.
Mm-hmm.
So Jaws was my very first horror movie. My second horror movie I ever saw was Silence of the Lambs. That's a big spectrum.
Really?
Okay, yeah. My mom was very strict. But growing up with my dad, who was a theater instructor, teacher, whatever, we did theater. And he got me into Alfred Hitchcock and my sister into Alfred Hitchcock and Norman Bates. I'm telling you, just that whole, I'm a nice guy. This is my hotel. I wouldn't even hurt a fly. Bull. Look what happened there, Mrs. Bates. And the whole story is just, and it's based on a true story. And a lot of people don't know that.
Oh, I didn't know that. I had no clue.
Look up the serial killer and please explain. But anyway, you want to talk about a real life villain. Norman Bates is based on a serial killer in Wisconsin by the name of Ed Gein.
Oh, I know the whole story behind Ed Gein, but I never knew that was Psycho related. Really?
Yes. So when the book was written about Psycho, it was loosely based on Ed Gein or the screenplay. So yeah.
Well, that was some of the inspiration for the Leatherface movies too.
Absolutely.
So
what happened was that he would literally go and I hate, and this is creepy, but yeah, he would dig people up and yeah.
Well,
and his mother, yeah.
Yeah, it was just a small.
My son was born the day Ed Gein died, and
what?
I've always told him that he go to a Halloween party, but he should dress, with the hat and the beard and the old rustic clothing, and see if somebody recognizes him and says, "Are you Ed Gein?" And he'll say, "Who's Ed Gein?" And they'll look it up and he'll say, "Oh my God, he died the day I was born." Yeah. And then people would think he's like Ed Gein reincarnated,
but that's creepy. Oh my God. But Anthony Perkins just totally took this to a whole, what is it they say now? He understood the assignment, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He really did under Hitchcock. And to know that, I don't know. I just love him so much. And the third Psycho, I think it was either 3 or 4, was filmed in Florida at Universal Studios. So they had to rebuild the whole house, part of the hotel, and they filmed it there in Orlando. So when you went on the tour, when Universal first opened up, you got to see like the house there. And it was the coolest thing. Yeah. The porch, Mother wasn't there. And if you know who I'm talking about, Mother wasn't there like she is in LA, but that's my favorite. I have to give him props. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're right about him being Mr. Clean Cut, kind of, neighborly guy next door. That's what really sold it.
Totally unexpected.
Exactly.
When they said, "Oh my God, it was him."
Yeah.
You don't expect it at all.
Correct. And it's just, it goes on and on. And let's not forget, the original Scream Queen's mom is in this. So,
oh yeah,
it's such it's a fabric of villain horror genre, I think.
Was there ever a film on Ed Gein? I don't know, but I think he just kind of lends himself to so many others.
There was a film, I think.
Yeah, there was.
But I don't think it went mainstream.
No, it was. I want to say it was a straight-to-video film, Jane.
Yeah, I want to say that.
And I could be mistaken, but if memory serves me correct, the original actor for the Friday the 13th movies, who played Jason, the one who, if you ever read his story, horrible, was burned real bad doing it and all that stuff. I think that was going to be like his debut to horror films as a main character. I think he was in it.
Oh wow!
I could be wrong. I might be wrong on that, but I think, but yeah, it was a straight to video. I want to say I've seen parts of it. Didn't do all that well.
It really didn't, and it was very. I mean, it really was very. I don't want to say obscene, but very gross, very just not. Nope. It would make Hannibal Lecter blush. So, that's just the way I think of. But yes, there was a movie, and I think it just didn't go straight, to mainstream.
Yeah.
Now I have to look it up.
1974 low budget film called Deranged, based on Ed Gein. I'm definitely not doubting you that. Just not familiar with it.
Yeah, it's not.
I think there was there was songs written. The heavy metal band Slayer wrote a song.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you the name of it is, but and it's all about it takes premise of, or takes a viewpoint of, like a little kid, or I don't know, a girl or a female who's trapped by Ed Gein, and at the end of the song, you hear this person who's screaming and yelling, trying to get away and get out, and it's kind of on the eerie side. So yeah, the guy carries.
Janie did not bring enough alcohol with her tonight. Okay.
There's Ed Gein, the Butcher of Plainfield, with Kane Hodder. Okay.
Yeah, Kane.
And then there's a movie called Ed Gein with Steve Railsback, who played Manson in Helter Skelter in the 70s.
Yeah.
Huh. Steve Railsback, Carrie Snodgrass, actual cast.
What's the year on that, Mike? Does it say?
It says 2000.
Okay, I was gonna say, the one I'm thinking of has been made since the 2000s. So maybe I just have the wrong actor, which is a very good possibility. So.
Doesn't matter. It's still creepy as hell, regardless.
Yeah.
What actor could play Ed Gein? Oh wow.
Do you know who could play Ed Gein?
He was kind of like
Herschel. I was going to say Herschel Savage. Herschel Savage is the porn star. Herschel West, isn't that the little guy? Quint's mate.
Yes.
Quint's mate and John.
Listen,
he could play Ed Gein.
Listen, we're not going to OnlyFans to cast of this, okay? Listen.
Hey, Herschel Savage is a Facebook friend. He's a very nice person.
But listen, I agree. But you know what? Now that you bring up Quint's mate, he kind of does have that look in that movie. Absolutely. Of what Ed Gein looked like.
Yeah, he definitely comes across. Yeah,
I love you though, regardless.
A little socially awkward in the film. Comes across as might have your neighbor hanging up in the back in his garage. I don't know. You know what I mean? You're making some skin lamps or something. I don't.
Okay, I'm supposed to be having a. Never mind. Let me just shut up.
Janie, just leave the lights on tonight when you go to bed. You'll be fine.
I remember when I read the book Helter Skelter when it came out. I'm at the part where they used to go out. They used to call it creepy crawling. They'd go into a house and they'd steal stuff, but they'd move furniture around. So the people woke up. They'd wonder what the hell happened. And as I'm reading that, my bedroom light burned out. I was like,
Oh, that's karma right there. Forget it. Nope. Let me get this sage out while we're having this show tonight, okay? Because
and some garlic around your neck.
Garlic, sage, holy water, moon water.
Yeah. If I had to pick like someone now who could pull off Ed Gein in a film, that kind of sinister, kind of Michael Keaton at his current age.
Ooh.
I would go, I could see that.
He won't say I'm Batman anymore. He'll go, I'm Ed Gein.
Or Willem Dafoe.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Winner, chicken dinner right there.
Yeah.
Between those two.
Oh, God. I think you got me on that one.
Yeah.
God bless Willem Dafoe. He's creepy looking anyway. So,
He's so good. He's such a good actor.
He's a great actor.
I love him.
Great actor.
Platoon is my favorite with him. It always will be. I always love Platoon.
From Appleton, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Don't know why I know that.
Yeah. So if that's the case, then who do you pick as far as your villain, Nate? Out of these
slashers?
Wonderful cast of characters we have here.
That would be a tough one. You know what? I'm going to go with an oddball, and I even threw him up here, but I just loved him in the movies. The movies were good for the time period. I can't really watch them anymore, but the old man in Phantasm, I have him sitting right next
Oh
to
yeah, he's
Michael
right
Myers
there.
right there.
Yeah.
Angus Scrim, the tall
Is
man.
that his name? Is that yes, the tall
Yeah.
man? That's right. That's what I remember him as.
I just remember when the trailers are running in theaters, they say this. You go, and Angus Scrim as the tall man. Yeah.
Yeah, he just, I don't know. I mean, part of that is I think, honestly, I really got burned down on the slasher stuff in the 80s. I mean, my buddies and I would go to like Blockbuster or whatever, and they would always have kind of like a horror section, and they would have like a B-rate section, stuff that goes straight to video. And we would purposely go pick stuff out. And I mean, you name it, horror wise, and we had watched the Puppet Masters and like the Crawleys and like insane, what was it, Clowns from Outer Space. I mean, really burned myself out on it.
That is such a fun thing that people that they used to do that at Halloween Horror Nights, and everybody goes crazy over the Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah, my son and his buddies are into this stuff now, and I'm going, come on, man, you can do better than that.
baby steps, Dad. Let them start at the good, intermediate level and work their way up.
Learn from my mistakes, son. Don't.
Yeah, but even and some of the more popular ones from the time period, the era. The first ones I think obviously were some of the best ones. Freddy, which kind of became a facade or a parody of himself through time, through the movies. Unfortunately, that's what happens a lot. The first one, and even like I remember the second one going, that was done good,
Yeah.
A lot of new stuff, kind of lightning in the bottle stuff going on there.
Yeah. And I like Robert Englund too. Because there again, I was not allowed to watch any of these movies. I was raised in a very strict home with my mother, but I love the fact that and I brought up Stranger Things since I'm such a fan that they brought him back last season as a character.
They brought so much back. And I've only seen bits and pieces of a couple seasons.
He really did. When a lot of people didn't realize who it was because they never seen him unless he's in the Freddy gear. Yeah. So when I read about it and I watched him, and it was a very good episode with him, and I tell people, go, that was Freddy Krueger, and they're like, no. That impact again. It's a good villain to have.
The only non-Freddy thing I've seen him in was The Adventures of Ford Fairlane.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
You kind of forget everything else,
Yeah, you forget. I know.
I couldn't name something he was in besides that. I just couldn't.
Well, we just gave you two, so there you go.
This is true. What I'm saying is, like, that's two you have above me.
I
can't name a damn one.
No, you can't. No. What? He was in what? What? No.
Wait, he was in V. Oh, you know what? I do remember that. He was in V. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, he was in V? Oh, he was in V?
Yeah, the TV show, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's
Nightmare on Elm Street films were awesome.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Like I said, they kind of started.
1 and 3. 1 and 3 were really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't that Johnny Depp's debut?
Yeah.
Yes.
Johnny Depp.
He was in the bed when they pulled him through the bed.
Yeah. Johnny Depp. Old Captain Jack. There you go.
Yeah.
Who would have known it would have foreshadowed his... Never mind, I'm not going to go there.
I know.
Anyway. Sorry.
No reason to apologize.
That's why we're here.
Bad
we all have a sense of humor. All right, guys, ready to move on?
Yes.
Yeah, we're good.
Let's jump into the next round. So I picked this just because I think these are some of the best villains. My favorite, and also I'm being a little selfish here. There are some it's hard to find some good historical films at times that not only it's a historical film, but also is very entertaining. And I think some of these just have incredible villains in them. Incredible villains. And again, it's hard to kind of, are these truly historic? But they're either based on historic eras or events or based around actual historic characters. So just some incredible stuff going here. Like Gangs in New York. I'm
Gosh.
sorry. I mean, man, I absolutely love that film. I think that's one of Scorsese's best films.
Oh yeah, I think Daniel Day-Lewis. Daniel Day-Lewis won the Oscar for that. He was so good.
God,
he was incredible. He
just stays. I may have told this story before. If I have, I apologize. Henry Thomas was here in March, and I asked him. I said, they always say Daniel Day-Lewis stays in character, and there's a part in the film where he stabs above his head with a knife. And I said, were you terrified? And he says, I was kind of scared. He says, he actually hit me with it once. It didn't break the skin, but it hit me. But then he showed me a picture he has on the set while they're waiting to film. It's Henry Thomas and Leonardo DiCaprio sitting in director's chairs. Daniel Day-Lewis is sitting on an antique stool from the 1860s.
Oh, wow.
Because that's what he had to sit on, because he was in the 1860s.
Wow.
Anybody that committed deserves Oscars every movie he does.
Absolutely. I agree with that.
Yeah, because you've got to be two shakes for a mental institution. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but I mean to be able to take yourself to that level. I mean, you got to be walking a fine line. There's like one switch that separates you. I mean, that's amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. I was going to say, when you put all of these up on the screen, his character was the first one I went to think of.
I just watched that again about a month ago. I mean, every little thing he does. I mean, even from like taking the knife and tapping on his
eye. I was just thinking the same thing.
Yes. Or in the beginning, when he kills the priest, he's like, no one will touch this man. After he just cut his guts out, but gotta have respect. I mean, he follows his own set of standards that sometimes you don't see heroes follow. I mean,
right.
Incredible character, incredible actor.
Wow. Donald Sutherland in Revolution was another good villain. Oh,
so Jason Isaacs, the Patriot.
Oh, I love Jason Isaacs.
Yes, it is, and that was based on the Butcher, who was an actual. He definitely was not I don't think he was a general. Maybe he was that high rank. I don't think he was, but that was an actual British who was known for his atrocities during the Revolution. Now, not as bad as it was portrayed in the movie, but again, I mean, he played that role with conviction.
We were talking makeup earlier. My friend Corey did the makeup for the Patriot. So.
Oh, did he really?
Did he really?
If you enjoy the Patriot, thank him.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you, Corey.
Yes.
Wow, very much
Excellent job, dude.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And then
Tony Montana.
Listen, why is it always got to be Florida? I'm just saying. Why?
Tony Montana.
Tony Montana.
Some people might not think of him as a villain. They might think he's
not. Let me just shut up.
Some of these cross that line. Were they villains or were they not?
Yeah.
Him being one of them, because he came over here. As I don't know if he was a fugitive from Cuba. That's kind of the way it's portrayed. But
didn't it start out that were they just refugees trying to go from Cuba to America because of Castro? Is that what it started?
Yeah, Castro said, if you're going to take our people, take them all.
Yeah,
take them all. So they sent over some irreputable people from Cuba.
Because I lived very close to Miami. I grew up like 2 hours away from Miami. So I remember all these refugees coming on floats or boats or whatever they were doing, whatever they could to at least touch American soil to get around. And this is a very good depiction of it. He's coming over here for a better life, and then it consumes him. So you're right. Is he a bad guy or not? It
was the American dream.
The American dream, exactly. Absolutely.
If he'd waited 30 years, he'd be a baseball pitcher. It just didn't work out that way. Nowadays, that's what it would be. Nope. If he's coming from there, he's got to be a gangster. But and most people look at that as being the most, the scene that everyone remembers. Say hello to my little friend. But for me, it was the scene in the shower with the chainsaw.
Yes. Oh my God. Oh,
was brutal.
no. Mm-mm.
That was brutal. Yeah.
Yep. He meant business, didn't he? Yeah, he did. And he showed it.
And next time you watch it, when they're outside the hotel, you'll see there's a USA Today paper box in front of the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
USA Today wasn't around in 1980.
Oh, really?
What?
Whoa. Like facts. All right. Like
Holy
facts.
crap, dude.
Yeah.
See, I'm
Yeah,
not even
throw
a
that one
guru
out there.
right there. I mean, he's like the god of movie facts. I'm telling you. I'm just
Wasted
schmuck.
knowledge.
I'm just a schmuck.
Wasted
Janie,
knowledge.
look, Janie, I got you covered tonight too. Take a look.
Oh yeah.
You've already thrown one or two up there. Come on. The whole Ed Gein thing.
That's because I've learned from the master over here. That's why.
You've taken me to school already tonight. So.
I did see Paul Mooney's Scarface. There are no mountains of cocaine or grenade launching weapons in that one.
No.
Never saw it. Yeah.
I never did either. No, I didn't even know there was one. I only knew of, Pacino's.
Color, black and white? How
and
much
white.
earlier was it?
Black and white.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
I want to say 40s, maybe 50s.
Oh, yeah. Okay, now I know what you're talking about. Okay, I didn't see that. But I like the gentleman above Tony. Look at this. That guy right there is one of my favorite actors.
Yes.
Ever.
He is
I mean,
genius in everything he does.
Anything he does, he's just hilarious. And this right here, it's funny in some places, but you just love to hate him. You know.
I 100% agree with that statement. He pulls that off he plays it so well. You can't wait till they're carving the swastika in his forehead with his own knife at the end.
I know.
You know what I mean?
But he's
you
so
can't
good.
wait.
He is so
He was
good.
just perfect. He was just perfect for that role.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
He was that character you couldn't beat. He was high ranking, with the Nazis. He was too intelligent. He would outthink everyone in that movie, really, for the most part,
Yeah.
And his only slip up was he was willing to sell Hitler and all his own men out, for freedom and for a little bit of wealth, and that's where he slipped up. So yeah.
Oh God, he played that so well, and he's just such a great actor to begin with, anyway. And so I just adore him. I really do. Not necessarily the character, but the actor. So let's get that straight. And then next to that, you have J.K. Simmons, which is right there in the same. I would say the same for me, anyway. Same thing. He can go from playing the editor of the Daily Planet or whatever Peter Parker was doing, and then come to this little
Bugle.
The Bugle, thank you. And then coming and on what is this movie called? I can't think of it.
Whiplash.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He was
brutal.
He earned that one.
So good. He's so good in everything. I mean, he used to be on Oz. He used to be on Law and Order.
Oh, Oz was such a great show.
He still somehow does the farmers commercials.
You were thinking the same thing I was.
It's like, dude, you've got an Oscar. You don't need to do the farmers commercials.
Because I love him in that commercial. Yeah. My life is not complete until I see him. It's such a good, but golly, the great actors up here. Awesome.
Oh my God. Yeah.
When they won, I think Neil Patrick Harris was hosting that year. And when he won, Neil Patrick Harris went, he won an Oscar. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
He did. He did. That was awesome.
Right.
Excuse me.
You ready for the next round?
Let's go.
So
we could turn these into a drinking game one night.
I'm all in for that. I'm putting all my chips in on that one.
Just trying to come up with different ideas here.
I love it. Whenever you hear this word, everybody take it. Oh man.
So I had to pull up at least some superheroes, but I'll be honest with you, as far as superhero villains go, in my opinion, a lot of times the villains don't really match up, or don't carry the weight, which is a shame because obviously you want to see the superheroes do well, but you also want them up against at times an insurmountable force, and I find that oftentimes those characters, the villains, are really lacking in these movies.
Yeah,
and so there's some that I thought were really good. put a couple that I thought were really good here, and I tried to throw a couple general ones up there as well.
Yeah.
So I'll let you guys have a shot at them.
Oh my gosh, Mike, what do you think, honey?
General Zod, Terrence Stamp, great actor. Wasn't intimidated by him. Michael Shannon, General Zod, yes.
Yeah.
Michael Shannon frightens me.
Yeah.
He's probably the nicest guy in the world, but I would not go near him unless he said, "You want to say hi" or something. But yeah, he's just very imposing. I did not find Terrence Stamp imposing as General Zod, though for a while our trivia team was called Neil before Zod. Thanos, yes, he was good. He was good.
I thought that was good. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And the thing with a lot of these, like, I'm trying to see, is that Doc Ock up on
Doc Ock up there? Yeah, that's
that was great.
Kind of a misunderstood villain. You know,
Mm-hmm.
He's a villain, but it's not his fault. And then you kind of have a little sympathy for him. Whereas Thanos, I'm glad he disappeared and hope he never comes back. Michael Shannon's General Zod. I mean, they keep bringing him back in movies. I don't know why or how, but and then the Joker. I mean, both Jokers. Jack and Heath Ledger. They were truly evil. They were truly rotten people. Nicholson a little more over the top, but Heath Ledger just played it, and I'm anxious to see the Joker 2 or whatever they're calling it, because I thought
with Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a musical. Someone said it was a musical.
I did see some snippets, and there's a part in the movie too where she does sing in it, but it's not a musical. No. She will be playing Harley Quinzel. Yes.
Oh, okay. And then Magneto, Ian McKellen.
I thought was incredible. And, the early films, the X-Men films, they say now don't stand up and take a beating. You know what? That was before the whole takeoff with the Marvel world, and same with the Spider-Mans, I thought they were done really well in a time that we didn't have a ton of really good, films, as far as ones that people took serious, I thought he was incredible. And then, get into his backstory with the later films, even though it didn't involve him, I just thought it was kind of neat. Right. And the way he carries himself, as the character, I just thought, he wasn't like, ooh, I'm up to no good. He was intelligent, he was driven. And again, I think guys like him, and I think what you said, Mike, like even with like General Zod and Dr. Octo, you walk a fine line. Were they truly a villain?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they weren't just doing it for the sake that they wanted to, like the Joker, because he just wanted to, like, take society and turn it on its head.
Hackman was great. The best Lex Luthor to me, Kevin Spacey in Superman Returns.
Oh,
that's
he was good.
That's the Lex Luthor that I read as a kid in comic books.
Yep.
He wasn't campy, he wasn't funny, he was just mean.
Wow.
Kevin Spacey should have been with Christopher Reeves. Not that Gene Hackman did a bad job. I just agree with you on that. Gene Hackman did a great job.
Yeah.
But I agree with you with Kevin Spacey. Yes. Yeah.
Kevin Spacey's still that kind of an actor there. He can just do just about anything. Mean, funny, singing, and for him to turn that on a dime and be like what Mike had said, you can't beat that as an actor, I kind of miss him right now in some things because he's one of my favorites. He really is.
He'll come back now that all that stuff hopefully is behind him.
I hope so, because I hope there's something that's really going to bring him out and just Anyway,
I think you're slowly seeing out these characters. Kind of cancel culture hits them pretty hard for a couple of years, and all of a sudden they start to come back around again. All of a sudden they're relevant. People want to see them again. So
yeah. I agree.
All right. With that. Well, moving on. Here we go. I decided just to do a slide on women because these were some of the most deranged, some of the most, not like gory, scary, like, I don't want to turn the lights off in my house, but
you do. You do what? Yeah,
what
you do.
They go through. Yeah. what kind of childhood did they have to carry themselves the way they did in these movies? You know.
Oh wow.
I threw
Golly.
Christina in there because Christina was a she. It was a
Yeah.
car.
It was a
And
car. I mean,
I
yeah.
love that film. I know it's kind of now it's kind of like the funny, dorky kind of Halloween film. You always see it like Walmart
Yeah.
for $5. And
Yeah.
I love that film. I thought it was great. And you know, the car taking on being the woman and being jealous, and I just loved it. Yeah.
And they're great. I mean, they're great picks because two of them won Oscars.
Yep.
Glenn Close got nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah.
Their thought out roles are not the stereotypical.
Well, wait a minute.
Bad girls.
Let's see. So, Kathy Bates won.
Yes, for Misery.
And didn't Charlize Theron win for that one for Monster?
You may be right.
Oh wow! I did not even recognize her.
Yeah, that's supposed to be Eileen Wuornos.
Three of them won Oscars.
3 of them around there. Okay, because then you have
I didn't even realize that was Charlize Theron.
That's Charlize Theron. Yeah.
Wow. Kathy Bates, then Louise Fletcher for Cuckoo's Nest.
Fletcher. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So
golly. Yeah. Just
she really, from my understanding, when she portrayed Eileen Wuornos, and I saw this not that long ago, actually, that she was so involved in learning those mannerisms, and that she was talking to Eileen's partner at the time and showed her private letters, things that Eileen had written, pictures and everything to get to that point to win that Oscar. And it was the first time in public, or the first time that her partner, that Christina Ricci portrayed, really showed anybody the true Eileen. And then here you go, you have an Oscar winner because of that. Yeah. And that, there you go. Also happened in Florida. Why is it always my state? Damn it. God.
Everyone goes to Florida.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
I know. I share your pain.
You share my pain, honey. I know. I know.
Not to throw any more heat on you, but did I see that your governor is now telling people not to get vaccinated for COVID?
I'm not even talking about my state of Florida, because you know why? I wouldn't know. I'm not going political because, number one, I just do not need to get into that mess because he's stupid anyway. And we don't need. I can't. Let me just shut up because I'm going to say something and we're not going to have this show anymore.
We'll just say Jane and I didn't vote for him.
We didn't vote for him, and I'm in Tennessee, so there you go. And not that any better, but me being in the healthcare, I've lost way too many friends from COVID. I've lost way too many friends from just different health issues anyway. Why would you do that to your constituents?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I agree. There's certain, you want to talk about villains, there's fictional villains, and then you have the real ones. And I'm just going to keep it as that, buddy, because, I hope us as a country that we thrive from this deep valley that we are in. Red or blue, I don't care. We got to get back together.
100% agree. I didn't mean to bring politics in. It was just me being a thorn in your side.
You just brought in a villain, is what you did. So there you go.
Right.
And
I say we stand.
Every state has everybody. There's a villain somewhere in our lives, no matter what office, whatever they do.
Oh,
so
sure.
100%
agree. Yeah, they don't go by a certain color or certain affiliation.
Exactly. It could be the person that got my Whopper wrong at Burger King. That's all I'm saying. So there you go.
We sent Nurse Ratchet down to Florida.
That's it. You got my picture up there, dude.
In no time. Yep. Yep. I mean, I can remember from an early age, if I ever wanted to hate a woman, it was her. I mean, she did so good with that character. It was unbelievable.
Oh God! And I loved when she won the Oscar for that. And you have to go back on YouTube to watch it. But when she did her acceptance speech and her thank you speech, she also did it in sign language.
Yeah, because her parents were deaf.
Her parents were deaf. Yes.
Really?
Yes. So she signed her thank you, her acceptance speech in sign language.
Trying to find a magnifying glass, see if that's really Sharon Stone.
You knock it off.
Mike, this is the stuff that got you in trouble last week. Wasn't it the swimming joke last week?
Just a fact. And Margaret and water don't go together. Or Margaret Thatcher. Natalie Wood.
Natalie Wood. Why'd you bring that up, dude? Oh my god. So anyway, so Mike, what do you think?
Out of these,
yeah.
Hey, these are just ideas I came up with. You got better ideas? Please bring them up.
No, these are great. I mean,
Kathy Bates is the most batshit crazy, but Glenn Close. That had to be a horrible date movie for people to this new movie. Let's go.
Well, that's basically my profile right now on the dating sites. It's a combination of those two. So there you go.
Do you know that they reshot the ending of Fatal Attraction?
Yes.
I don't even knew that, Nate. The original ending, when she goes to the house and cooks the rabbit, Michael Douglas was making a sandwich, and she takes the knife, and then what she does is she goes home and she puts on some terrible music, and she cuts her own throat, and the police get the fingerprints, and the original ending was Michael Douglas being arrested for her murder.
Oh wow!
Test audiences are like, no. She can't win even if she's dead.
Yeah.
It's like Officer and a Gentleman. Originally, Officer and a Gentleman, he didn't go back for her. He graduated and rode off on his motorcycle. So, yeah. But for pure, not evil, but just villainy, if it's, I guess that's a word. Louise Fletcher, Nurse Ratched. Yeah, Nurse Ratched was the most horrid person. When Nicholson's choking her and all the guys are behind her going, yeah, I'm going, yeah, Mac, go, kill her. I mean, she wanted to prove a point. She killed Billy. She had to go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Whole new level of spitefulness.
Yep. Yeah. And I like how you have, is it Turnbull or the I guess the principal from Matilda? Is that who it is?
Oh, very good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't recognize that.
So I found out a little something about her actually today. She is the same lady that plays the aunt in the Harry Potter films of Dudley's aunt.
Really?
That's the same lady.
I'll have to talk to my wife about that.
So it's the same lady, the one that blows up into a balloon and flies away because she's like totally, I guess Harry cast a spell on her and he Janie's facts. There it is. But that is the same actress, yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And that they did Danny DeVito got the cast of Matilda together. I guess it was last year or the year before. No, probably last year. And she came out with this big chocolate cake in front of the actor that in that movie and wanted him to eat it. He's like now this good-looking kid that's not fat anymore. And she acted exactly like that at Danny's house. So. Yeah. Lady Macbeth. Oh.
Lady Macbeth. Oh,
that's a good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. Whoever put that up, genius.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lady Macbeth.
Deleted scenes from DVD.
It's Matt or Mike. I'm sorry, Mike Gilstrap. Thank you, Michael. Good suggestion.
Right. Hey. Yeah. Bring in Shakespeare, please.
My streaming blows tonight. Sorry to hear that, but someone's having connection problems.
That's Matt.
Oh.
He's up, New Hampshire or something like that? Up north?
Maine,
yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Also from Florida. Hope we didn't hear your insult to our state.
Sorry, dude.
I got to take the heat on that one, yeah.
Listen, opinions are like, everybody's got one.
All right, so
there he is.
It's hard to draw the line between these two, so I just combined them. And I pulled what I thought were some of the most iconic ones here. And some of these are obvious calls, maybe some not so much. But yeah, so I'll let you guys kind of take a stab at it because I was selfish enough to put up all of my favorites up there for you guys. So,
well, I mean, I'm going to let Mike go first on this one.
Oh, let's see. De Niro, Cape Fear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's in a lot of good villains, but I just thought that one, you know,
That one, no.
rather than picking obvious, I just thought that really shined and stood out more.
That was just creepy, and you know, Robert Mitchum in the original did a great job as well. But yeah, he's pretty frightening. Which at the time he wasn't. I mean, he was known for stuff like Raging Bull and kind of a tough guy, but never De Niro like that. And another person that gets immersed in the role. And let's see here. That drives my wife crazy when I do that. Honey, if you're watching.
Well, I mean, I can only imagine. I mean, the context. I mean, so the stuff that came out of his mouth, and I thought you were like,
yeah, you know, the man won an Oscar. He's on screen for like 11 minutes. But that's how great a role it was, and what a great performer he was. Because when he wasn't off screen, you were wondering what's Hannibal Lecter doing now.
I just had this conversation today.
Yeah. Kevin Spacey, the aforementioned. John Doe in 7.
What's in the box?
7. Oh my God.
What's in the box?
And I think
you were talking.
He won the Oscar for Usual Suspects that year, but he easily could have won it for this. Yeah.
So you were talking earlier about, was it Fatal Attraction with, letting Glenn Close's character win? That's what Kevin Spacey did at the end of 7.
Yeah,
he did. Yes,
he did. On top of that,
he did. He did. He did.
You got to think though, in a real world, no jury would convict Mills, Brad Pitt. He did what? He cut your wife's head off? Oh yeah, I'd shoot him too. Yeah. Oh, spoiler alert! You haven't seen 7. We just told you what's in the box.
I didn't say a thing. I just said what's in the box. I didn't say what it was.
Andy Robinson from Dirty Harry.
Dirty Harry. I thought he did a good job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kooky, kind of out there.
Is that Christian Bale? Is that American Psycho?
That's American Psycho. Yep, there he is.
I mean, he ranks right up there with Kevin Spacey at 7.
Yeah.
And the clean cut, hide it. No one will ever suspect. I mean,
Nope. Average man on the street that you would think. Yeah.
How about that middle one there, guys? Tell me you know that one.
Oh, I didn't see him.
Got to know that one. Sorry, it's a little small for you to see here.
Just because you don't need glasses.
Is that Henry Cavill?
No, it's not Henry Cavill. I'll give you a hint.
It looks like him a little bit. It's just a little bit. I don't know who it is.
Another Clint Eastwood film. One of my favorite, I think, underrated Clint Eastwood films. He was going to kill the president.
John Malkovich.
Malkovich. In the Line of Fire.
In the Line of Fire. That's exactly right.
A great movie.
I don't recognize Malkovich with hair. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Right now I see him.
Amazing in that film.
Wow. He's another one too that can just switch.
Yeah.
He's just
He's a chameleon.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He really is. I can't get over the baldness of Johnny Depp over here in the corner. It's just driving me insane.
That was Whitey Bulger. Yeah.
What and wow, man.
Yeah, and if you ever watch they've done a couple actual factual shows on Whitey Bulger, and he seems like he played him pretty close.
Yeah, that's from what I heard, because I had seen a couple of documentaries about it, and that's what I heard, that it was pretty eerie.
Mm-hmm.
That he really nailed that, Whitey Bulger. So
and
Christopher Walken. Ooh.
Was a Jack Nicholson character in The Departed?
It was based on Whitey Bulger.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. You're exactly right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Depp looks like Christopher Walken.
He kind of does. He kind of does. Yeah.
but I would never shave my head.
No.
My best line out of that film is when they're sitting around, they're having a meeting, and I don't even remember the character he was talking to. He says, "You know, I've been sitting here for the last 5 minutes watching you lick your fingers and put your filthy fingers into that bowl with those peanuts that are meant for everybody." You know, he just goes off on the guy.
He
I was
did.
like, he's gonna kill the guy over the peanuts. This is what's gonna happen here, you know.
Wow. Golly.
Right.
Great actors all in together. Look at that.
Yeah.
That is a yearbook class right there, isn't it? Oh, and I love Anthony Hopkins. I was just talking about that character today with my coworker Elena, and I said, you know, Hopkins was just like, you didn't know how to take him. Was he really going to be like a colleague almost to Clarice, or was he really stalking her? You knew, you know, but it was a mad respect that he had for her, and I think they both had for each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
otherwise they went across paths.
Correct. So, and she goes, "Yeah, I never thought about it." Yeah, you're right. So,
Michael Gilstrap suggests Frank Sinatra in Suddenly.
Suddenly, I don't know that one.
No, don't know it.
Is that the one where he has to kill somebody, and then Sinatra had it pulled after Kennedy was assassinated?
Oh, I don't know.
If so, it was a good movie. It was on TV years ago.
Hopefully, whoever posted that, maybe they can shoot a reply in here, give us a little perspective, because it's not something I'm familiar with. Yeah.
No, I've never heard of that actually. Yeah. That was before my time. I was born in '72. Sorry.
Because it was one of the films one of the first films that Ted Turner colorized, and Sinatra had brown eyes. So.
Oh wow.
He had brown eyes
in the movie. Yeah, they colorized him wrong.
Oh my God! Y'all had to bring up Xanadu. Who's bringing up Xanadu?
That's got to be Matt. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Poor Gene Kelly. That's his last.
That was his last film.
Last movie.
Yeah, with Olivia Newton-John.
That poor guy.
Yep.
Whatever happened to Michael Beck? He did The Warriors. He did the Xanadu, and he disappeared. The Curse of Xanadu.
Right. Well, now he's doing autograph signings with a couple of the other Warriors. I think that he was around here in Knoxville. So he does that whole circuit now. They'll get together and do an autograph and do a panel every now and then.
Oh, cool.
Nice. We got two more great ones coming on. Rod Sager and Treat a Lady, and Tony Curtis and the Boston Strangler.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oof.
Good choices.
Suddenly
it's on YouTube. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, hey, we're kind of coming in here to the last inning or so. So I want to hit on some misses. So what were some of the characters that you're just like, nope, it's just not working for me? And I pulled up some that I know some people would argue with me. And again, these are my own personal, not a reflection of either of you guys, just ones that I just.
Well, no, but I mean, if that's the case, I'll go for the Girl from the Ring. I mean, that when I first saw that, I was like, no, keep her. I didn't like her, but at the end of it, you understood what happened with the story, so right. I like her. I like that movie. Dennis Hopper, and especially with that, no.
Do you know what that's from?
Super Mario Brothers with John Leguizamo and Bob Hoskins. No, he was Koopa. He needs to Koopa his ass out of here because I did not like it. Yeah. So I like the cartoon movie that came out better than I did this.
Yeah.
But it was just it was so corny though. But yeah, that was Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah. Mrs. Voorhees.
Mrs. Voorhees. Yep.
Down below.
I'm not familiar with the other two though. Nate.
Yeah, me either.
You don't recognize the one next to you, Mike? I'm trying to remember the name, but he was the villain in Commando.
Oh.
He was the villain, up against Schwarzenegger in Commando. He was the one that he had the little knife fight at the end.
Right.
What was his? I can't remember his name because Schwarzenegger always had a catchphrase, and it was he stabbed him with his own knife through the chest into this big pipe of steam, and it's blowing. He's going, let off a little steam. I forget what his name was, or something like that. in typical, fashion of his. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And the one ironically above Mrs. Voorhees happens to be Jason Voorhees and Jason X. That was the outer space one. I've never seen the whole.
Oh, okay.
I've never seen the whole thing, but they tried to kind of breathe life back into him for one more movie, and the idea was, I don't know, he was encapsulated from the last movie, and they were holding him in space. It was way off in the future, and someone ironically brings him back to life, and he kind of takes on this whole cyborg. It was
Oh, okay.
ridiculous.
Okay. Okay.
It made Jaws 4 look like an educational novel. I mean, honestly, it was. I'm telling you, it was rough. It was rough. It was like doing a 50-yard dash in a 40-yard gym. I watched about 10 minutes of it, and I was out. I couldn't do it anymore.
There's movies like that. You want to talk about, go back to Psycho when, what was it, Vince Vaughn? They redid that Psycho, and I watched the first 10 minutes of it, and I got up and walked out.
Yeah, that was.
It was horrible.
It was, yeah. It was like, really Gus Van Sant. You got, you do good while hunting, and when you do a good movie, you get a chance to do a personal project, something you want that you hope people will see. And he said, "Well, I'll just remake Psycho shot for shot."
No.
And I'll throw in a quick shot of Norman Bates masturbating.
That was why I walked out. That is exactly why I walked out.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was just like, it took away from the story. We kind of knew what was going on with Anthony Perkins, but you didn't have to go into that much detail.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't like, Nope.
Yeah. Schwarzenegger is Mr. Freeze.
Batman and Robin.
He's watching. What is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It fit the campiness of the film. That I'll give it that. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'll give him that.
One of my favorite. I remember Sully when I told you I would kill you last. That's right. You did.
I lied.
Yeah. You pulled him upside down by his foot.
Yeah.
Off the cliff. Yeah. Well, I got one last one, but whether we hit it or not really doesn't matter. But I know, I know we need to wrap things up here.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Should we do it?
Yeah.
Do it.
One.
Be like Carrie Fisher. Do it. Okay.
So, heroes and tough guys that either have or could make it as a really good villain, because there's a lot of good heroes out there, but they've tried or can't see them doing both. And you know what? Both you guys have kind of, especially you, Mike, have touched on this tonight. Certain people that were very capable at both roles, and I think it's hard to come by.
Well, I have to say, rest his soul, Christopher Reeve. He tried to play a bad guy in a movie, but really it didn't happen.
Did he really?
But Death Trap. He tried to remember with Michael Caine.
Yeah.
And so he tried, but it just didn't work out. But if I were to ever vote on anything, I would love to see my man up here, Hugh Jackman.
Yes.
Get into it. I mean, pull Wolverine's layers off, pull the singing, masterful dancing that Australian that he is. I want to see him do something that is going to, just bring his badass out.
Kind of like Logan.
Yeah.
Logan was,
but I mean, even deeper. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. My thoughts exactly. I can't remember the film he did, but he played a film that was based on a true story that I don't know if it ever did really well, but basically he was the father of a child who was abducted. Took place out in Pittsburgh. And he and I want to say a neighbor caught the abductor and basically tortured the guy. And that's what sold me as wow, he could definitely pull it off.
He could do that. Absolutely.
Remember the movie, because I interviewed the director, Denis Villeneuve, and because I asked him, I said, tell me there's if you haven't seen it, I won't do the spoiler alert, but I basically said, tell me there's like the deleted scene where the ending is not as bleak as it was. And he goes, nope, still there. I'm like, oh, you bastard. But yeah, that was with him and like Paul Dano was the neighborhood kid and the mom. Yeah, I did not know that was that was a true story. Oh Lord.
Oh wow.
I want to say it was based off of an actual abduction situation that happened. I want to, and again, I could be wrong, very easily could be wrong on this, but for some reason, what rings true is I want to say it was around like rural Pittsburgh area, Pennsylvania.
Oh wow.
So it's not just Florida. Okay.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Pennsylvania's taking some heat tonight, Jenny. You're up.
That's where all the Dawn of the Dead and Night of the Living Dead films take place in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, yeah.
Zombies.
Yeah.
You got zombies.
What was the other
Denzel.
one?
Denzel training day.
I was gonna say he did Training Day, and I thought he did well, but when you compare that to some of his good characters, I think he could do better in a better role.
I haven't seen The Last Equalizer. I only saw the first one, but I hear he's kind of a badass in those.
And he very calculated. That's what I had in mind was the first. I saw the second Equalizer. It was all right. The first one I thought was very good.
Yeah,
incredible. And I can see him in that type of a role, but on the other side, rather than trying to help someone. He's the maniacal killer who is, on a path to destruction. He's not going to stop. He's just too intelligent, to have the local police stop him or whatever. Yeah. And
of course.
Yeah, and Mel Gibson played a villain, but I really think Mel Gibson in his older age now, I think he could really do a good job. He was the villain in the one Expendables movie. Was it the last one?
I want to say yeah. I mean,
I think so.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he could play a pretty good villain if he wanted to. Yeah. And Christopher Reeve, I think, could almost pull off almost kind of like a Psycho-esque type killer. I really do. I always thought that
because he's got he's just got a pleasant demeanor and he's just a clean cut guy. So yeah, I can see that.
Almost that like Ted Bundy kind of role, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think go ahead. I'm sorry. No,
go.
I was gonna say I don't think I no, you're not. I don't think I could ever see Bronson do anything bad. Seriously, I really don't. I don't know. I mean, he probably could, but I'm not a big fan of his.
No, I don't know if I could, but every role, most of the roles he had, whether it was the westerns, whether it was his military films, whether it was his cop films, he was always put me in mind a lot of Eastwood. He was never quite the good guy. He was the anti-hero,
right? And
he crossed the line all the time.
I think maybe I don't know. I just never was a big fan of his, and I think maybe because I know his personal history with his wife who passed of cancer, and you kind of see that it just took it away from me, and that's just me, the empath in me. Yeah, and I just couldn't see that. But I mean, oh my gosh, I mean, he's a great actor. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It's just I would love to see, like you said, either Hugh Jackman or Chris Reeve, just really two people you would never ever expect.
Eastwood and Unforgiven.
Oh, great! Yeah.
You know what? I thought about Eastwood.
Yes.
Like you could see because he's got that dryness and that to him, and he's stuck on what he needs to do, and he's a very stripped down, basic character as far as what his motive is, what he has going on. I thought about that, but then I thought, is he a little bit too dry, a little bit too quiet? I don't know. I was kind of torn on that, and you know how I am with Eastwood, but yeah. But he wasn't looked at as a villain in that film. I mean, as much as he was a villain, people didn't see it that way, So crosses that line, like you said again, Yeah. And there's only one that I didn't pull up, and I had a picture. In fact, somebody had mentioned him in the comments that he tried it once or twice, and unfortunately it didn't pan out. And I still think if he had the right role, would have been one of the best, and that's Robin Williams.
Oh, well,
he did Insomnia. He did 1 Hour Photo. Not sure what else, but I just think he was someone that could have just set the world on end as far as being a good villain. I really do.
Yeah.
Oh, Connor mentioned Oliver Reed. Good choice.
Oh, yeah. Oliver Reeve and Sykes and Oliver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson is only a villain when he's drunk.
Mel Gibson is only a villain. Jesus.
I don't know who's more of a villain, him or Alex Baldwin, when he's talking to his daughter and he's drunk. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, she got back on him big time in public, so I think they're even now.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So you know.
Good picks. Good picks.
Little pitch into the other side, which is good because you know what, you have a movie with a really good heroine in it. You gotta have a really good villain to really solidify.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
The other role, otherwise, doesn't come across as well. And so,
you can't have the yin without the yang.
That's right.
There you go.
Gotta have a special character to do it. Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So.
All right. Yeah. Well, that's what I have for us tonight here, guys. We got a couple last words. Bronson was a villain.
In the
you know what? I never saw the original Mechanic.
With Jan Michael Vincent. Yeah.
Yeah, I never saw. I'm going to have to go back and watch the original now.
Golly, so many good movies that you think you never think about, and then we bring a show like this up, and it just brings up great memories. You're like, I think I'm going to pop that in. Let me see if Netflix has it or something. And you go back and watch it. So good choices. Good choices.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, hey guys, I really appreciate you joining me on a little journey here tonight. It was a lot of fun, as it always is. And some good ideas, some good thoughts, and a couple things to maybe roll out the evening before we call it a night. And Jane, it's okay to sleep with the lights on. No big deal.
I have a nightlight, thank you. Okay. It's from Bath and Body, and it's turtles. So leave me alone, Nate.
I can't get my wife to watch horror films anymore either. I had her watch The Exorcist with me when I think we first met.
I would rather
freak her out.
Oh, and I agree with her, but I've told people before, I said, because of my dabbing in theater and I know special effects arts and makeup and everything, I would rather be behind the scenes of making that movie more than I would to watch it, because I would have more fun. So, but JJ is a great addition every time.
She is. That's why we asked her to come on here.
That's right, because Nate and I suck, so
Hey.
Stop.
Right.
No, you don't. Thank you for the invitation. It's always great.
Just for that, I won't be here next week. Just for that.
What?
Actually, I won't be here next week. I'm going to see Herb Alpert. But for the person that made that comment, you can wonder if you scared me off this show, Victor.
Watch When a Stranger Calls. Number one, I have. Number two, no. Okay, so there you go.
God.
No. So, well, I'll tell you what, though, Nate, if you need a partner next week, call me if he's going to be out of town.
Yeah, sure, definitely.
Hey,
if you're willing
open
to put
invitation,
up with me
you are
3 times.
We always have a seat for you. Yes, absolutely. Love to have. No, hey, being totally serious.
Matt, I know Nate is very good. I know Nate is very good. It's called sarcasm. You have known me for 47 years. You do not understand sarcasm yet. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right, class. This is
all
what
right, well, hey, let's hang it up.
Let's go.
Thumbs up for everybody here, whether or not. Sorry, I know it's back in the day, but habits are hard to break. So thank you very much, you guys at home, for joining us tonight. Thank you, Mike and Jay. Another awesome night. And
thank you.
Catch you back again next week with some jaws fun.
All righty. Have a good night, guys.
Have a good weekend. Stay loose, guys. Take care.
Bye.